Marjorie Taylor Greene wants Afghanistan to be the only issue that Americans are thinking about, in spite of the fact that we still have a pandemic that is raging through the United States right now, sending the number of hospitalizations and deaths to all-time highs in certain areas of the country. But none of that even matters. In fact, it doesn't even matter that Americans are poisoning themselves with horse dewormer, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Over the weekend, she had this to say on Twitter. No amount of fake ivermectin stories, COVID variant cases, or J6 committee lies in the fake news cycle will cover up what Joe Biden and his administration did in Afghanistan. 13 of our best dead. Americans left for dead. Biden armed a terrorist nation. You know, it is nice to see, actually, that Republicans finally starting to care about people getting killed in Afghanistan, because they've been completely silent about it for the last several years, even though we have actually had other years during the Trump administration where we had more American troops die in Afghanistan than we did this year. In fact, in the attack that happened a couple weeks ago, where 13 died, the 13 she's referencing in the tweet, we had years under Donald Trump where more American troops than that died. And as you know, they didn't say a word about any of that, because it didn't matter, because it wasn't politically expedient for them to try to exploit these deaths to attack their enemy, which at this point is Joe Biden. But let's talk about what she said. The fake ivermectin stories. We have seen a 245% increase in the last month in the number of people taking ivermectin for animals and having to either go to the hospital or contact poison control after ingesting medicine that was designed specifically for animals that typically weigh about, 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. And what I love about this is you have all these, holier than thou super leftists who are trying to make it seem like, oh no, this is prescribed for people. Anybody telling you otherwise is lying to you. No, here's the thing, idiots, and you're idiots, yes. There is a world of friggin' difference between ivermectin, the ivermectin that won international awards for removing parasites from human beings, and the paste that you buy at a feed store to feed your horse. World of difference between the two things. One designed for humans, one designed for livestock. That again, typically weighs about 10 times more than your average human being. So yeah, not exactly the same dosage there, which of course is why we're seeing people overdose on this stuff and have to be rushed to the hospital. It really saddens me to have to make that, comparison, I guess, between the two. But there's too many people on both the right and the left who want to ignore the fact that it's not the same thing. Oh, sure, it's the same active ingredient, 100%. But the ivermectin that a doctor would prescribe you because you have parasites inside of your body is not the same ivermectin that you can get without a prescription in the aisles of a farm and tractor store. Stop pretending it's the same thing. Stop getting mad when, other leftists refer to it as horse dewormer, because that is what people are overdosing on. You're the ones being disingenuous here. And I'm sorry, Marjorie, but guess what? Americans have now, and pretty much always have, cared more about what's happening in their own backyard than they care about what's happening a couple continents away. That's just how we tend to work here in the United States. We pay attention to what is affecting us personally. And right now, the biggest thing affecting us personally is, yes, COVID, the ongoing pandemic, people dying, friends and relatives in the hospital on ventilators. Those things kind of stick with us a little bit more than a foreign conflict that's 20 years old that a majority of people in this country are happy that we're no longer a part of. So you and all your little Republican buddies can continue to try to do your best to make Afghanistan the number one issue, but poll after poll shows that Americans have already moved on, and this isn't going to be the midterm slam dunk that you'd like to think it is. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.